What surprised me the most about Vector was just the people. Honestly, like everyone I got to meet throughout my first month or two on my Vector journey was amazing. Everyone who had met had their own story, and hearing those things and how everyone came to this company is really awesome, and it's really helped me build my communication skills. I was very introverted before I got started with Vector, and just being able to kind of grow in that and experience personal growth in a way and have an environment that's competitive yet fun and knowledge is shared has been really amazing. Hi, my name is Kaden Peterson and I'm from Rapid City, South Dakota. Currently go to school up at Black Hills State. So right before I got started with Vector, I was actually transferring schools and I was unemployed. I was a college football player for a semester, but then ended up deciding that medical bills and student loan debt wasn't a super fun combo. So I decided that I'd leave, and when I came to Black Hills State, which was going to be a cheaper in-state school for me, I got recommended to Vector by a friend, and I figured I'd give it a shot instead of just going to stock shelves at Safeway again. So Vector found me. I had a friend who recommended me for it in high school, and I did not take the job then, as I was just busy with some sports and other things, and I already had a job. And then I was recommended again by a friend, and I figured why not try it out. My parents had bought a set from one of my high school classmates who'd recommended me before, and they loved their stuff, so I figured I can probably sell this stuff. I mean, my parents really seem to love it, and I'm sure other people would too. I know that one of our other classmates had a lot of success with it, and then obviously I'd seen the online scrutiny, like the pyramid scheme, accusations and all that jazz, but I figured I would rather find out for myself than just listen to what other people say on me. So what made me give Vector a try was kind of just going to my interview and seeing Nick. Talking with him was really, really good for me. Seeing and hearing from him about the job was awesome, and he was really great throughout the whole process, very personable, and obviously he made me feel like I was actually cared about, which is something that, based on what I'd seen before, I didn't think I was going to feel like here, and that was even just in training before I had even done anything with Vector. And then obviously my parents were on board and they encouraged me to do it, and especially since I wanted to work in our family business and they know I didn't really want to do field work, they figured sales was going to be the avenue I'd take anyway, so what better way to get started than with Vector. So I met with one guy. He was deep into a list of recommendations I had built, and I go to meet this guy in person, and I bring knives and all that jazz, and I'm ready to give the presentation, but while I'm getting them out of the car, one of the Cutco knives actually cut my arm. So I had to get that stapled up before I could get started with the presentation, but that just ended up being one of my favorite presentations I've ever gotten to do. I talked with him for like 30 minutes before we even got started. Just goal sharing with him, telling him about my passions and my dreams and how Vector's really helping me out. And he was really impressed by what this company's done for me and how far I've come with it. And it was just a funny story. I remember going over the carver. I was like, hey, this is the knife that cut my arm before we got started with the presentation. It was the funnest presentation. We were able to work out a great deal in the end, and both parties left very happy. And even though his wife wasn't there and he was a little worried about it, he ended up getting a galley set. The flexibility of just being able to create my own schedule and set a plan for myself. I'm a very schedule-oriented person, so being able to set a plan that I can stick to and hold myself to is really awesome. As well as having managers there that are just going to make sure that you're sticking to the goals you set for yourself. You're not having goals pushed on you, and you're setting your own goals, and your managers are just there to help you succeed. And that's been really awesome to work with, especially as a student. I'd say public speaking was like my biggest fear. I was horrified of just talking in front of people and talking to people in general. And at SC2, I was really lucky to be blessed to be on a panel, and being up there in front of such a huge room of people and just being able to tell like some of my experiences and share some of the experiences I've learned with such a large room of people. It was very daunting. I remember feeling my heart sink as soon as I sat up and looked out at the crowd, but really just being able to tell that story and explain some of my experiences and help other people out was awesome, and it really is helping me get over that fear. I would say 100% the income opportunity is number one. I'm very money motivated. I've been very straightforward with that since I got started. But having something that I can work with while also working as hard as I can on my school, and then I do bodybuilding in my spare time. I'm very busy, so having a job that I work into my schedule rather than having to work my schedule around a job has been amazing. The main thing that you're going to get is you're going to get some great experience. You're going to meet some awesome people, and maybe if you find out sales isn't for you, at least you tried it out. Just going for it, and all the awesome things you're going to learn from even just being in training for the week is going to be awesome. It's going to be life-changing for you regardless of how long you're with us.